Traffic Jam is on now.
Well, this is Dr. Dre, your humble correspondent for Traffic Jams podcast. And I'm here with actor, musician, poet, spokesperson, young man on the Chitlin circuit, and of course, a New York Yankee draftee into Major League Baseball, Mr. Dennis White. How you doing, Dennis?
What's up, bro? Love it.
I was giving you all that good stuff so we can continue with the stew. You were talking about the Chitlin circuit and how it helped build your skills, and actually you watch some other great performers and what how they progress forward, and some of them aren't gonna make it to what you call great commercial success. Tell us a little bit more about that as you were describing to us the Chitlin circuit when it comes to acting.
They're very talented. They can do multiple things, play all the instruments and do comedy, do everything, sing, everything. But it's hard when you're doing the Chitlin circuit because you're a celebrity in that city that you're in. But that doesn't translate to the big screen. And so a lot of them are stuck in that rut. And I knew when I got into it, I knew there was something bigger for me. So I did it as a learning experience, and I gained a lot of great connections while doing it. But I knew that there was more for me, and some of them can't get out of the Chitlin circuit aspect.
Well, while being in the Chitlin circuit, you also described that you also went on a tour, on a gospel tour, and performed with other gospel greats. And how did that experience help build your repertoire and your resume?
Man, so John P. Key, he's a big time gospel artist. He's like an uncle to me. He really on the road, he really schooled me on a lot of the things as far as being in this business. He would always pull me to the side and just pour into me, and just learning what it takes to be out there up front. When you're doing a play, everybody is an ensemble, but it's John P. Key and New Life. So the things that he goes through and he went through, I learned a lot from that, good and bad.
Now, you also put out an album called Dennis, and the subtitle The Menace.
Yeah.
How did you put that together, and what inspired you to put that music out?
Man, I've always been doing music, from rapping to singing to writing. And I was in DC and I met with this producer, Dark Gable. And I was just like, let's go, let's do it. And I felt like with that album, I wanted to say everything I wanted to say, do everything I wanted to do on that album. And, for me to be an independent artist and, for my album and song to be charted on billboards was a great accomplishment. And music is like my mistress.
Well, is it something that you plan on going back to and give us some more beats to the rhymes and rhymes to the beats?
Definitely, man. I still write, I still record here and there, but as far as sitting down and do a new album, I'm definitely going to Omari Hardwick and Affion Crockett kind of, inspire me and pushing me to do that. So I'm about to get into the studio soon and really drop something, let people hear what I have to say. There's a lot I got to get off my chest.
What's up? It's your boy, comedian A.G. White, not so white, not white now, and you are watching The Traffic Jam. Jam.
Okay, well, who are some of your favorite artists that you listen to and some that also inspire you?
Wow, man. My music repertoire is like diverse, but as far as like hip hop, of course, Big is one of my favorites. Jay, I think Andre 3000 is incredible. I love the whole Griselda movement right now. Benny the Butcher, West Side and them. Alternative, Harry Connick Jr., Nirvana. I'm an old school hip hop, Mobb Deep, Black Moon, Smith and Wesson, Layla Hathaway. Like I said, my musical taste is diverse.
Interesting that you say you go back to Mobb Deep is old school and certain other artists. have you ever discovered things like Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5, Sugar Hill Gang, Funky 4 plus one more, Treacherous 3?
Yeah. Grandmaster Flash is a friend of mine. Like I've always been a hip hop connoisseur. So, you know, the message when that came out, it blew everybody's minds, like especially mine. It was like, wow, you know, this is what we feel, but just on record. Sugar Hill Gang is funny. You know, someone came to me about help write and produce a movie about them. So yeah, I'm definitely into the old school hip hop. You know, early MC Light, Big Daddy Kane, the God Hill. You know, I'm like I said, I love hip hop.
So as we jump from hip hop, you and I actually worked on a project together that I don't even think you know, because I understand in your IMDb you were in a short series called Miracles Boys.
Yeah.
Did you know that I was in that show too?
I had no idea.
There you go. Because Spike Lee directed the episode that I'm in on Miracles Boys.
Wow. Yeah, that was a great opus, man. You know, 6 episodes on the Nickelodeon brand. We had some of the most incredible directors, LeVar Burton, Bill Duke, which is my OG, Nima Barnett, who does a lot for Queen Sugar, Ernest Dickerson, and of course the incredible Spike Lee. So it was a great project.
Yes, I got a big shout out to S.E. Chambers that put me on to be in that project. Matter of fact, what's very funny is when I went to shoot that episode of Miracle Boys, I met at the time President Clinton crossing in Harlem. It was crazy. I had my kids with me, and we were walking across the street, and he was walking the other way. And I said, "Hey, wait a minute, aren't you Bill Clinton?" He said, "Yeah, aren't you Dr. Dre?" And I said, "Oh shoot, he knows me."
Yo,
it was really fun.
That's where I met Bill Clinton too. I was living in Lenox Terrace. It was on 137th and I came here to Lenox, actually, 137 Lenox, and he came out. Secret Service came out, and he just came out and just shook hands and was talking for a minute. I shook his hand, and then he jumped in the van and bounced.
You're watching The Traffic Jam.
So what about a project that makes you decide to actually want to go forward with as far as acting is concerned? What has to be in the script or what has to be in the character that makes you say, you know what, I can really relate to this and I can do this part?
The character has to affect my emotions. It has to, you know, whether it's a horrible character. I did a horrible character in a movie called All In, but I felt like that was a story that needed to be told. And it has to be written well. It has to touch me in a certain type of way for me to say, I like this character. What can I do with it? I've been given scripts and projects where I won't touch it because it doesn't resonate with me. There's certain type of characters I will not play. You'll never see me on camera play. But there's certain characters I just not written well enough for me to want to lend my talent.
Yo, wagwan me youth. This comedian A.G. White, not White, no. And you're listening and watching and jamming to the Traffic Jam.
Do you go after certain parts when you hear certain parts are open for movies? Do you actually actively go and audition for certain parts?
Hell yeah. You know, this is a proactive business. You can't sit on your hands and just sit back unless you're Denzel Washington or, you know, Joaquin Phoenix or, you know, on that level or Will Smith. But as far as us underlings, yeah, there's roles that come out that I really want that I go after. Notorious was one of those roles.
Mm-hmm. How did you get that part?
Man, it's crazy. So I've heard there was rumblings of they're doing a movie but they never released the characters. So, you know, me being a hip hop head, I knew Andre Harrell had to be in the movie. Like, yo, that's Dre. So, you know, I did some looping sessions on a movie called Honey, and I met Dre, and I was like, yo, I would love to play you, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like, okay, cool, blah, blah, blah. But I still didn't know what characters. The casting director, Wendy McKenzie, I knew her. So I would, you know, hit her up and like, let me know when there's auditions. And I just so happened to go to my acting coach, Tracy Moore, her class, and the casting directors, Twinkie Bird and Wendy, they just happened to be there. So I went and approached Twinkie, and me and her kind of went back and forth. And I'm like, yo, I need to audition for this movie. I need to be in this movie. I need to audition for it. And she didn't want to audition me, but she, you know, I kind of convinced her, and the role was D-Rock. And at the time, honestly, I didn't really know anything about D-Rock. I did my research, and I went in and I wanted it, you know. And so I went in there, and there was another actor who was pretty much, they had secured for the role, and I went in and I took the role.
Is that something that you do out of confidence or something out of drive and determination?
It's a little bit of both. You know, there's a difference between confidence and being conceited.
Yes.
I'm confident
you
because
can confidently be conceited, but you can't be conceited and confident.
True. Well, I'm confident because I know I do the work, and I know that I'm prepared, and I know that what's for me, God is giving it to me. So if it's not for me, it's just not for me. So that's the confidence I have.
You're watching The Traffic Jam.
What would be I'm trying to put this so it's what would be your a part that you're looking to do that has not come out yet, as far as something you may have read, something you may know about? It could be a superhero role. What are you looking to do? Like, you know, I really feel like I should do something like this. It would work out really well for me.
I want to play Dr. Dre. Nah.
Well, that's you're a little light to do that one. I appreciate that though. But we have to go to your casting director, because I'm definitely want to go to your acting school and you know, sharpen up my tools again. But no, go ahead, seriously.
Yeah, you should. I do. I have a couple acting workshops I'm doing right now that it would really benefit you, that you'll love. But I would like, there's his name was Christopher Dorner. He was the ranger out in LA that was on the run that killed a couple cops. I would love to play his story and reenact his story.
Wow.
Him and Paul Robeson. I would love to tackle Paul Robeson.
Wow.
And Armstrong, like those three.
You know what part I could see you doing, and it's going to sound kind of strange, but it may work out. And it's because I've always thought of doing. I watch a lot of movies from all different perspectives and say, I wonder if we make this like a multi-ethnic cast, could this work? You ever hear the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Yeah.
I could see you playing the Dick Van Dyke character, the professor, the inventor, and all that stuff.
Okay.
Just a different update. It's just, I always look for different things to say, how can we tweak that and make that today? Because it's an iconic movie at that time. And it's, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's all white cast, you know, but if you interject some different things, it doesn't have to be the exact same thing, but it's that character and bringing that out. And I think you have that talent that can actually cross a bridge of that nature.
That's interesting. I'm gonna look into that. I mean, that's something that's been great about the resurgence of Black theater and Black cinema, is that we've been given an opportunity to expand our characters and our situations, instead of just being slaves or just being gangsters or just
you get to actually go out and audition for roles. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah.
You get to be a part of the roles. And in doing that, and like I said, the reason I did that, and when you go to do that, you know, you better put my name and say, Dr. Dre gave me the idea, and he may want to come along as a producer. He had a thought. But anyway, I say that because have you ever seen the play Hamilton when it was on Broadway?
I didn't see it on Broadway, but I saw it afterwards. I saw a video of it. I didn't see it
on Disney Plus or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you ever be inspired to do something of that nature? Not Hamilton per se, but a production. And I mean, Lin-Manuel is amazing at doing that. Would you go out to an audition for something
Oh,
of that nature?
I would love to. I mean, I started in theater. Theater was the essence. I feel it's the essence of acting. And so I did a one-man show off Broadway called Die Laughing. I've done a lot of theater, when I lived in New York. And so I definitely would love to do that. Like, that's, the passion.
Hi, I'm Kim Osorio, executive producer and former editor-in-chief of The Source magazine, and you are watching The Traffic Jam.
What are some of your favorite actors and some of your favorite actresses and some favorite movies? You can give one or two of each.
Jeffrey
Besides
Wright.
Denzel and the obvious ones, we know that already. You already mentioned him, but
yeah, Jeffrey Wright, Joaquin Phoenix. People I work with: Angela Bassett, Jodie Foster. Some of my favorite movies: New Jack City, Old School, Raging Bull, Harlem Nights, Hotel Rwanda, Menace in Society, Goodfellas. Those are some of my favorite movies. Oh, I'm bugging. Pulp Fiction.
great movie, great movie. Sam Jackson and John Travolta. Now you mentioned Jodie Foster. What was it like working with Jodie Foster in that movie that you starred with her?
She changed my whole perception on acting. Because when she got on set, she's the top earner. She's making $17 million for this movie. It's her movie. But she came in on set so quiet and so focused. And, while I'm on the set, I'm looking and everybody's, talking to that. I'm watching her. I'm like, if I'm doing a scene with her and this is where she's at, I need to be the same way. And it changed my focus. And so we had a strong, it was just really a scene, but that scene became so powerful that it was in the trailer, and it's people talk about it in their acting classes. And I've learned so much from her. When we had a rap party, she said, "Dennis, I hope this is the movie that sparks your career, because you're going to be a great actor." Robert Downey Jr. was there because his wife produced it, and he also changed my perception of acting, because he broke down my character for me. I went to him like, "Yo, I'm a big fan." Before I could finish, like, "Dennis, I love your work." I'm like, "This fool knows my name?"
Well, he is Iron Man. He is actually Tony Stark, That's a part of his job, to know your name.
And he broke down my character more than I ever expected. I'm like, if he does that work on someone else's character, just imagine what he does on his. So it gave me a whole different perspective on what it takes to be on that level.
So it makes you take acting seriously, because remember, when you talk about Jodie Foster and Robert Downey Jr., these are child actors. They started out, or their lineage, especially Robert Downey Jr., his family's been in acting since he was born. Jodie Foster has been acting since she turned on Channel 4 and watched the Disney Channel, Disney, Wonderful World of Disney. So to be around that kind of caliber of talent, does that raise your talent?
Oh, if it doesn't raise your talent, then this is the wrong business for you. They say steel sharpens steel. And I've learned from everybody that I've worked with some incredible actors, Kira Sedgwick, Bill Duke, just so on and so on. I learned from each.
When you say Bill Duke, you're supposed to say the great Bill Duke. Just letting you know he's a friend of mine.
Incredible Bill Duke. That's my man. I talk in the chat room. That's my man. Just incredible, and it's funny because when I'm around him, I was with me, him, my mom, and Robert Downey Jr. and Ty Bridges. And I don't like to talk around them because I don't feel worthy. I just want to listen. And they always are like trying to get me to. So Dennis, what do you think? I'm like, it doesn't matter what I think. What do you think? I just want to listen.
Hi, I'm Brittany Noelle, and I'm located in Los Angeles, California. You can find me on Instagram at @B_Noelle Fitness. See you there. Another exercise that you can do for the love handles, if you didn't have a kettlebell or if you just thought the last one was too hard, you can use a dumbbell for this. So you're just gonna have your feet hips width apart, draw the belly button into the spine, make sure that your pelvis is tucked under like so, and it's not sticking out like this, no arch in the lower back. So here, and then you're just going to bend to the side, stretch the obliques, and I'm going to use this side oblique to come back up. So it'll look like this, relaxing the shoulders. Also, here's what it looks like from the side. I'll do it on this side so you can see. Bend up, bend up. I'm still keeping that pelvis nice and neutral. You can also use like a water bottle if you don't have a dumbbell or anything heavy at your house, and same motion. Drawing the belly button into my spine, making sure to use my obliques, not my back, and breathing.
You're watching The Traffic Jam.
So for Traffic Jam's podcast, I got what we call the Traffic Jam question of the day.
Okay.
What are your top 3 songs that drive you, that make you, that when you hear these songs, you gotta get up and do something?
Many Men by 50
It
Cent.
could be more than 3 if you like. Say it again.
Many Men by 50 Cent. I
know it's an on the spot question. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Soundboy Burial by Smith & Wesson. For All We Know by Layla Hathaway.
Okay. Interesting. Would you ever do music or a song with your mom? Yeah, nobody asked you that before.
Yo,
what?
Hell no. We would have to do like separate studio sessions. Like we couldn't be in the studio together.
Yeah, but you're still doing the song with your mom.
Yeah,
you don't have to be there. I've heard it from a lot of great people and their siblings or their children. They say, "Yeah, I would love to do a song with my dad, but I can't be there when he's doing it. He can't be here when I'm doing it."
Oh yeah, nah. Been there, done that. But nah, I would love to do. I got a sample that I have from my mom that I want to, I'm gonna give it to a producer to flesh it out as a song. But yeah, I would definitely. My mom's incredible, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I directed a movie last year, and the title song I wrote it and she sung it really good. And when I started hosting at Fuse, I was the first African American host, and you were one of my inspirations. The way that you maneuvered and interviewed on TV was one of my inspirations. I used to watch and study how to interview guests. That's one. Second of all, my company is called Act Like You Know. I teach acting classes, actlikeyouKnow.org. If you're interested in acting and you want to get in the business, go to the website, take my classes, my workshops.
But thank you so much for that compliment. I'm very appreciative of that.
Thanks.
So being that we have to wrap it up, now you threw my whole question off to you. I was gonna say it's the new year. What is your big aspiration for this new year?
To be alive, to appreciate family, to do more work, to streamline my career, to help others. Last year was treacherous as far as everybody. I caught COVID. A lot of people, have a lot of lost family members. And I think it helped us appreciate life. So this year is to appreciate the breath in our lungs, to figure out what we want to do and go after it without any detours, without any distractions.
My brother, I just want to send you my love, my blessings. Thank you for all your great work. We must speak again, and thank you for hanging out here with Dr. Dre with Traffic Jams Podcast. And this is the brilliant young man, Mr. Dennis White. Thank you so much.
It's an honor. Thank you for having me.
This is the Traffic Jam.